Good afternoon, everybody. Going to go over Forex trades for today, Tuesday, November 17th. We had 5 trades, pulled out a total of 18.4 pips, 3 full and 3 full scalps and 2 swings that we had 10% each. We'll go over them in a minute. First, the economic news. This morning, CPI came out, which came out just as expected, 0.2%. Within that number, healthcare and housing costs surge. It sparked the biggest rise in core consumer price in 16 months. So healthcare, that's attributed. You could attribute Obamacare to that, and housing costs. So they surged. Industrial production tumbled to a negative 0.2%. It was supposed to come in at a positive 0.1%. So that was absolutely horrible. Really no big surprise there, even though it did miss. I mean, really, what do we produce anymore in this country? We're about an 80% services economy, if not more than that. So, our industry is not industrial things in this country, or part of the economy is not very big. And 1 month after the National Association of Home Builders index had the highest pop ever recorded, they came out with a drop this month, first drop in more than 6 months. So, as we said last month when the number came out, either the home builders don't know what they're doing, or that index is completely, very inaccurate index, because it can't go from having the highest reading ever to a complete drop in a month. Maybe it could, and maybe the home builders, just completely stopped building homes or drastically reduced building homes. I don't know. I'm not a home builder. But as we said last month, there's no way home builders are extremely bullish about our economy. So I found the reading last month very, very odd. This month, back in line to where it should be, and would continue to see it coming in, especially if the Fed does raise rates. And even if they don't raise rates, it might, the market may see that as such a Fed with no credibility that they're completely lost, that we could get a sell-off in the markets as well. You get a hard sell-off in the markets, the Dow, the S&P, it's going to inevitably slow down the economy, and that's just a fact. I mean, the economy is completely sluggish as it is. It's nowhere near what the government is telling us. And we've talked about that in numerous occasions. Let's go over to trades, because there were 5 of them. First one was a swing trade that we had 10%. We were long 86.940. It was really nice. It came in. We picked it up down here. It kind of really was consolidating in about a 30 pip range or so, maybe 40 pip range. And it finally popped out of it. And as it popped and started to run up to this area of resistance, we took it off the table, picked up 50.3 pips or 5.0 on a size adjusted. And you can see what it did eventually. Early this morning, and this move started around 4:30 or so in the morning, and has really continued to run all morning. So we don't have enough to pair out with just 10%. But we'll take the 50 pips or 5.0 on a size adjusted. Euro yen, we were short this. We really were hoping to pick up more than this. And I say that because we know the street is so negative on the euro. The ECB keeps coming out. Mario Draghi's coming out talking about more stimulus, how they're going to do more stimulus. They may, they're looking at the equivalent of muni bonds over in Europe rather than just government bonds. They're possibly talking about buying equities, stocks, which is, I think, absurd. But they are debating it. So they're doing everything from talking about raising the amount of stimulus to other products that they can buy. And with that, the whole street is so negative on the euro. We really thought this was going to come in, and it did come in nicely here with the spike down. We didn't cover because we really thought it was going to move a lot more. We were up about a little over 100 pips or so, and then the reverse came so strong, and we ended up covering as that reverse started to fade. It still hasn't faded all the way back down to these levels. So for some reason, there's some strength in the euro. Not that this chart looks like there's some strength, but there's an underlying tone there that maybe the euro has, and that's almost any euro. You could look at euro yen, euro pound, euro dollar, euro Canadian. There could be an underlying bid there that some of these big funds, hedge funds, and big mutual funds and whatnot, maybe they're starting to pick up a little euro, small amounts, and the funds they're so big that if they pick up small amounts with the idea of if it continues to go lower, they'll continue to pick some up, have a nice average price, and as she starts to rebound, it's eventually going to rebound, right? It's only a matter of time that they'll have a very nice trade on their hands. So just that they're big enough that if they start to nibble at it, you can get these type of underlying bids and these pops. Surprisingly, in hindsight, we probably should have covered as it popped out of this range. This happened though in the middle of the night, so we didn't have our orders in there. But we'll take it. We'll take the 33.4 pips or 3.3. And this one it's kind of confusing here. We had 3 full scalps, 2 last night and 1 this morning. You don't piece out on a full scalp because you're just going in there looking for whatever, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pips, something like that. You're using enough leverage to make it worth your while, not so much leverage that you can get pinched on it. And again, on the flip side, you're only going to be risking 10, 15, 20 pips, something like that. So it's a little different than taking a scalp where you only have 20 or 30 or 40% of your normal size, where you're risking 60, 80, 100 pips. So there are days where you'll get a lot of these, and there's days you get none. These type of trades are all gonna hinge on not only volatility but really economic news for the most part, which creates that price action, that really quick price action that you're looking for. So with that said, we had, like I said, 2 last night and 1 this morning. We had a long of 0.70993. Immediately, it was just this big pop. This was the news that was coming. You have to act fast. It was trading down at 0.70, about 93 when the news came out. I believe it was the Royal Bank of Australia meeting minutes last night, and it just popped, picked it up at 99.3, sold at 0.71044, picking up 5.1 pips. And you can see it traded all the way up to about 0.710708 area. So it was a nice trade. And then as it pulled in, we viewed this whole area here as some support, so we picked some up at 0.70942. Again, based off of that Fed meeting minutes, figuring we're going to get some more buyers in here just because of the pop out of that consolidation. And it was a nice trade, although we gave it away. We sold at 0.7096, picking up 1.8. Should have tried to sell it closer to the figure of 0.7100. Every pip when you're trading this full scalps counts, right? So you can see it actually broke through the figure and traded up to 0.710001. So we could have definitely sold around 98, 99, picking up an initial couple of pips, but in the end we'll take 1.8 on that one. And then this morning was the CPI news here in the States, so we were short Aussie dollar from 0.71204, and it came down very quickly for us, covered 0.71172, picking up 3.2 pips. And you can see what it did. It actually pulled all the way down to 0.71, about 1.5, before trying to bounce. And then this was the news at 10 o'clock, which was the National Association of Home Builders. Although we didn't trade it, we were done for the day, picking up our 18.4 pips. And you can see what it did. It gave a quick pop and then a reversal. And if you were still short, you could theoretically still been short from this level of 71.20 up here. I don't know. You probably would have been stopped out on this move up, really. But that's not our thing on big scalps. We're just going to go in there and grab as fast as we can on any momentum. But if you had held it and you were risking, say, 25 or 30 pips, you would still be in it because it only traded up as high as 71.38 or so, and you'd be in a nice little profit right now. But either way, that's neither here nor there because we didn't take it. Anyway, so that's it. We're going to wrap it up. If you're still trading now, good luck. Any signals come out, they'll be coming your way. And we will be back tomorrow, assuming we get some action tonight tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day.